Hello little creative pandas and welcome to my channel. It's called Vanda's Art. I'm Vanda, I'm making art, and this is the first video of a whole series about art supplies, and this one will be about brushes. And I am starting this whole series because I think it's a very important part of being an artist. Because if you don't know your art supplies, you don't know what possibilities are in them and how you can use them in different ways, and you will have struggles to achieve the goal what you want if you don't know them. So yeah, this is why I'm making this, and I would say let's just jump into this topic, shall we? What is exactly the job of a brush? You can think about it that hairs are binded together, like my hair today. The brush I'm holding is, or every kind of brush, should just save the material, most of the time the liquid what you want, so that they are soaking it up, save it and give it back to the surface. That's what the job should be. The problem is if you are working like with oils, they are not really this isn't a really liquid material, so you will have to use pressure to give it back to the surface. There are different parts of a brush. So the tip of the brush is called tip or toe, and this is the end part of the bristles or called hair. And also this part has a belly which is saving the water, and these hairs are connected to the ferrule with the heel. Also this metallic ferrule is connected to the wooden handler with the crimp. And I will say it a little bit easier, so you don't have to remember the names. So the metallic thing of this brush, you should keep it always pretty clean, because otherwise this is the part which is holding the hairs and the handle, or where you are holding the brush, together. So if it's got damaged, of course your brush won't be really usable, I would say. There are two main characteristics for brushes. The first one is the degree of absorbency. It is depending of the scales. The scales you can imagine like the broken edges from our hair. So the more scales the brushes have, the better they can hold the liquid. And if that's the case, they can better give the liquid back and evenly to the surface. The problem begins if they can't hold the liquid, because they are not saving at the belly, like up here, but on the tip of the brush. So this would mean that the whole liquid is at the tip of the brush, and if it's touching the surface, it would spread immediately, so you would have a huge mess instead of a controlled brush stroke. So the second characteristic is the presence or the lack of stiffness. That is important because it decides in which way you can use the brush and with what kind of medium you can use it. And thanks to the different, like a huge variety of materials, like from the natural bristles there are a ton of, and also from the synthetics ones too, and they have all different bendings, but I will go back to this. There are two main types of brush hairs that you can get. So they can be just to make it quick, short and understandable, there are natural hairs and synthetic hairs. The natural hairs, you can use them for every medium. I wouldn't recommend them for using acrylics because acrylic paint can damage them over time. They are very expensive, or more expensive than synthetic ones, because of what they are made of. Animal hair, sure. These hairs won't be cut off but found, and it's a different topic, but it's hard to make them and find the right hairs for these brushes. And also they can hold liquid very well. If you are taking care of them, you will have them forever. The one problem with them that you will have some brush strokes. You can see brush strokes when you are using them, especially for oils, but it's of course depending of your style and how you want to paint, so that isn't a negative or a positive point, it's just depending of you. And the synthetics ones are really cheap. They are like the same, not like the other brushes where every hair is different, and they are very cheap. You have a lot of variety to get them, and since the fabrics are, not the fabrics, but the manufacture, that's the name in English, the manufacture is really easy for making this stuff. They don't need a special care like the natural brushes, of course. They are easily produced, they are less expensive and require, but they are short-lived. So I mean, if you are taking care of them, you can have them for a few years, I would say. But the animal hair is just better if you want to have brushes for forever. Of course, if you're taking care of them. So how should you choose? Of course, it's depending of the medium you want to paint with, also about your artistical level, but not, or how should I say, if you are a beginner artist who just wants to have fun, you should not buy the expensiest, the most expensive brush that you can find, because you just want to make art and you will want to have fun. But if you are on a higher level and you know how to paint and you want to achieve better paintings and want also sell your stuff, and this will just make easier if you are looking on the middle or really expensive part. And also longevity or short-lived. It is also if you are buying just like €1 brushes or a set for €1, that won't last long, believe me. And also it's depending of your budget. You can just buy like 4 different brushes and make really great art from it, because you have a big variety of it. But I will come to this next week. I would say, if I could help you and if you like this video, please give a thumbs up. Let me know down in the comments if you could learn some new stuff, what you miss about or what I have missed out until now. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss any of the other brush team videos. Yeah, and with this I wish you a pleasant evening, so bye!